So just talk about how to differentiate. Anyone can tell me differentiate got 2 steps. What is the first step? What is the second step? Very good, Trisha. The first step is times. The second step is always -1. So always remember times and -1, times and -1. Just in case some of you guys don't know how to differentiate. So let me give you guys one example of how can we differentiate it out. Okay. Let's say this example, okay, my dear? So guys, every single time you differentiate, let's talk about this basic. Can anyone tell me why when you guys differentiate, what do you guys call it? Very good, Apana. We always call it dy dx. Then dy dx, if I decided to differentiate it one more time, what do we call it, yeah? I know I'm asking stupid questions, but like that only can, you know, control the speed. Thank you, Jason. d2y dx squared. So differentiation maximum can only differentiate 2 times. Y differentiate dy dx, differentiate it one more time, d2y dx squared. Next one, my dear, what if they want to differentiate fx? Then fx, if we differentiate it, very good, GAE, we call it f prime x. Prime is like apostrophe, my dear. Please don't thinking this is f power -1. They are different thing, okay, my dear. One is apostrophe, okay, maybe apostrophe, you guys couldn't see it. Now, there's a apostrophe, okay, my dear. So one is apostrophe, one is power -1. Power -1 is from 4 chapter 1 inverse function, but apostrophe is under differentiation. So f prime x differentiate 1 time. And then if I differentiate it one more time, very good. Very good, Felicia. We call it f prime x, okay, my dear. Differentiate one more time, we call it prime, okay? So this is just like the name you should write when you start to differentiate it. So now, for me to differentiate this whole thing, isn't it, they call it y? So when we differentiate, we will call it dy dx. dy dx, okay, my dear? So let's start to differentiate. Just now we say differentiate will be times and -1. So you will keep doing this process of doing times and -1. So what will you times? You will always times the power. So guys, always look at the x and then based on the power. So 4 times 5, isn't it 20? Okay, you see that? So after you times 4, 5, 20, then you power tolak 1. So 4 minus 1, isn't it power 3? Okay, same thing. Let's continue. So next one, 3 you times 3. 3, isn't it 9? So after you times, you will -1. So if I -1, isn't it become power 2? And then we continue plus, this part also same. 2 times 2, isn't it 4? Then after you times, then you -1. So 2 minus 1, isn't it left 1? Of course, 1 is not necessary to write, so I'm not writing it down. Minus, oh, how about this x? Oh, this x, you don't see any power. Don't tell me, teacher, no need to differentiate. Still need to differentiate. So if there's nothing there, you guys can create yourself. And very good, Carlo. Nothing there is actually power 1. Because everything you didn't write there is always invisible 1. Nothing in front is also 1. So we will do the same thing, which is times and -1. So 1 times -1, isn't it become -1? After that, my power, our -1. So 1 minus 1 is power what? 0. Power 0, do you need to write? No need. Very good, Jermaine. So just like that. Then how about the 5? So my dear, remember, every time you want to differentiate, x is the key. So the 5, do you see any x beside? No. So if there's no x beside, let's say I force myself to write an x there. Very good, Charlotte. You guys can write x power 0. Because no x there, am I right? So no x, you cannot write x power 1. X power 1 is literally got 1. But you don't have. So that's why it's x power 0. So my dear, you times and -1 again. 0 times 5, 0. Okay, so some student will tell me, teacher, why don't you write? Okay, I'll show you. I write 0 times 5, 0. After that, if I power -1, I will left power -1. But is it necessary to write x power -1? No, because 0 times anything is literally is 0. So definitely no need to write anything. So actually conclusion is, you got x, you differentiate, definitely got something coming out. But whenever you don't have x, you differentiate, is definitely a 0. So I hope you guys understand how to differentiate in a basic way, because today's all the questions will talk about differentiate. You just need to remember times and -1, times and -1, you should be fine. So next thing is, after this example, you guys should realize every time you want to differentiate, you will highly depend on the x. You will just keep looking at the x and then based on the power and the times whatever in front of the x, right? So x is always your key. But if the question is very easy, then differentiate it is not a problem. But the question can go harder and harder. So whenever you guys want to differentiate, please make sure that you can differentiate this thing. Okay, you need to you must know how to separate them. Okay, so my dear, whenever you want to differentiate, supposedly there's 2 types. You will see whether the x they're having 1x or more than 1x. Do you understand what I say? Let's, for example, 1x, that means the equation, right, only got satu x there. Can you see y equals to x? Only got 1x, my dear. So if they only got 1x, this is the easiest way. You just use normal method to differentiate. What is normal method? The one we did is normal method. We just times and then minus 1, times and minus 1. This is super duper easy. But what if they have more than 1x? What's the meaning of more than 1x? The example I gave you on top exactly got more than 1x. Can you see the equation itself? Got 1, 2, 3, 4. Got 4x. Isn't it got more than 1x? And this one considered as more than 1x. So if they have more than 1x, then you need to see whether the x in between, they are a plus minus relation or times divide relation. Very good, Carlo. You will need to differentiate whether they are plus, minus, or times divide. And you look at my example on top. Based on the example I just give you guys, can you guys see that they have x, 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 x. There's a lot of x, right? And in between all these x, their relation is a plus and minus. So if they are plus minus, what method we use just now? Normal method. That's why plus minus, we're still using normal method, which is super duper easy. But what if they are times the relation? That means this x and this x in between their times relation. And very good, Shri. Whenever they are times relation, guys, you have no choice but to use a formula called UV. Remember or not, my dear, the quadrant rule, product rule. So UV is times rule, okay? So the formula will be y equals to UV. dy dx equals to v du dx plus u dv dx. Hey guys, I want to comfort you again. If everything I say you don't understand, it is okay one, okay? You're gonna like chill, okay? So after that, you will understand when I start to practice it, and then you will be fine. Now you just like try to listen, have an idea of it, you will survive through, okay? So an idea, this is for UV. So when they are times relation. Then when they are divide relation, we will be using very good Yixuan, U over V. So dy dx equals to v du dx minus u dv dx over v squared. Maybe you will ask me, teacher, do I need to memorize this formula? I'm sad to announce, yes, my dear. This formula is not provided in SPM, nor your school exam. So you really need to memorize it, okay, my dear? So this too is the formula. So now you guys get an idea of how to differentiate and just times and minus 1, but you need to check how many x they have. And this particular chapter is a huge chapter. If your school teacher already started this chapter, you will realize how big this chapter is. So today's seminar, only 2 hours, impossible for me to cover everything. So, but let me give you an idea of it, okay? So this chapter got limit. Okay, we got limit. I write out all first. So my dear, they also got first principle. Okay. Other than that, they also got what? Limit, first principle. Oh, they also got rate of change. Okay. And they also got small change, which all the one I just stated, we are not doing it today, my dear. So today, what are we doing? Today we are doing, listen, today I'm doing the one that I always feel like you guys not very good on. At least that's what I think, okay? I don't know, I feel like everything is also not good, but never mind, okay? So today I'm doing equation of tangent and also for normal. Okay? Other than that, today we also doing turning point. Okay, that is what we're gonna do today. And trust me, 2 hours is more than enough for you to master these 2 parts. So you just follow me, you will master it, okay, my dear? Then maybe you will tell me, teacher, my rate of change also bad, my what also bad, this also bad, my dear. You everything bad also, I cannot do anything, right? It's only 2 hours. So the key is all this thing in my YouTube channel got video. That's the reason I didn't cover it, because I feel like you guys can watch, my dear. But these 2 I don't have. So that's why I do these 2. Smart, right, my dear? I think this is a correct way of choosing topic, okay, my dear? So the 4 part, I'm not doing. I'm doing this right side too, okay, my dear? So let's talk about it. First one, equation of tangent and equation of normal. What is tangent? What is normal? Can anyone tell me, tangent is a what? I must, throw you some question. If not, you guys don't have any involvement. Very good, Kira. So guys, remember, tangent is actually a straight line. And the straight line simply put where? No. A straight line lies on a curve. We call it tangent. To understand what I say? Let me draw for you. Like, there's a curve. Okay, let's say there's simply any point here. Any point will do, okay? I simply put there, okay? I always love this feng shui spot, okay? So this is the point. And then if there's a straight line, touch the curve only on this particular one point, we call it tangent. So this straight line, we call it tangent. So tangent not must be here, because if your point is here, this tangent. 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 So guys, one curve got 10,000 tangent then, okay? It depends on where is the point lah, okay? So guys, this is the tangent. Then what is normal, guys? Very good key. Normal, guys. Normal will be perpendicular to tangent. So guys, every single time I tell my student, whenever you want to draw normal, please draw tangent first. Tangent is like the mother, okay? So normal is like the daughter. Daughter and son and father easier, okay? So tangent is the father, normal is the son, okay? So every single time you want to draw the son, please draw the father first, okay? Tangent is seriously more important compared to normal, because tangent is more useful. You can find a lot of things for tangent, but maybe not for normal. So normal is always perpendicular of tangent. Perpendicular, you guys learn under Form 4 coordinate geometry. Anyone remember perpendicular? That means 90 degree. 90 degree, what formula go through your mind? Very good, Sarah. So guys, whenever they are perpendicular, look at me. Perpendicular means 90 degree. 90 degree, that means their gradient will be M1, M2 equals to -1. So M1, M2 equals -1. It means that, look, so for okay, make it this big. Whenever tangent gradient, I always call it gradient. Gradient is M, right? So gradient for tangent, I always call it MT. Then gradient for normal, I always call it MN. Easier lah, T stand for tangent, N stand for normal, okay? So whatever M1, M2 equals -1, it means that gradient tangent times gradient normal will definitely equivalent to -1. Okay? So whenever you're perpendicular, one of the gradient times another one will always be -1. But guys, try to learn this shortcut method, which straight away you guys can turn it, okay? I already teach my own student. So whenever they are perpendicular, right? One of the gradient types, another one will be -1. Let me teach you a shortcut method for you guys to straight away get the gradient. So for my own student, if this gradient is 2/3, this gradient will be what? Very good, Yishuan, -3/2. For those who thinking, teacher, how they know it's -3/2? Super easy one. When this is 2/3, why is it -3/2? Because you can straight away, I know M1, M2 is -1, but you can straight away tell me, because you just need to positive, change it to negative. Negative, change it to positive. And then the 2/3, you just terbalik upside down, just flip them, become 3/2. Let me test you again. This one, -4/5. This one. Very good, Umaira. 5/4. Don't tell me negative, because negative already become positive. 4/5 terbalik, 5/4. One more time. Different a bit. 1/7. This one. Very good, Priya. 1/7 positive become negative. 1/7 terbalik, 7/1. So -7. Very good. One more. -5. Very good, Natini. So negative become positive. 1/5. No. I say 5, right? So 5. 5 actually over 1. Nothing at the bottom is over 1. So 5/1 terbalik, 1/5. Very good. Just like that. So later on, when I tell you gradient tangent, you can straight away tell me gradient normal, because just terbalik. Super duper easy one, okay? Then guys, equation of tangent about this part, right? The most important thing is you don't know how to find gradient normal one, because gradient normal is the sun, right? The sun, not really have any formula to find it out, but gradient tangent got. That's why I say the father is very important. So anyone remember gradient tangent? How do we actually find gradient of tangent? Hey, very good key. dy dx. Guys, we're learning this chapter, right? Differentiation, right? It's because whenever you differentiate a curve equation, you will straight away get the gradient for the curve. So which is gradient for tangent. But gradient for tangent, they also have other name, which having the same meaning, okay? So tangent is for that particular straight line, right? And the straight line lies on the curve. That's why we can also say gradient of tangent and gradient of curve is the same thing. So please remember, because tangent and curve also talking about on that one particular point. Can you see that? So if you're talking about the same point, we can call it gradient of tangent at point A. We can also say gradient of curve at point A. It's the same thing if you're talking about that particular point, okay, my dear? So gradient of tangent, gradient of curve is the same thing. And got one more. Very good, Yann Sao. We call it gradient function. Hey, this one seriously is super duper important. Let me see what color should I do it to make it very important like that. You cannot memorize this. You couldn't survive through equation of tangent and equation of normal this part. But if you can memorize this is so easy. This topic is super easy, okay? So later on, whenever they find gradient for tangent, gradient of curve, gradient function, just remember is dy dx, okay? So next, I'll talk about turning point. Don't understand, never mind. Later on, when I start to do everything, you will understand, okay? But before I continue, I just want to ask you guys one thing. May I know gradient actually means what? Like gradient represent what? That's why I'm asking. Very good, Jason. Gradient actually represent the steepness of a line, like how steep you are, okay? So that's why whenever you know the straight line, how steep it is, you will use dy dx to differentiate the curve equation, sub the value in, you guys will get the gradient, okay? So I need you guys to have this basic because later on I will do a questions that needed this particular basic. So you guys learned under mathematics before. Gradient is about how steep your straight line is, right? So guys, may I know, if I draw you a straight line that look like this particular straight line, the gradient definitely is what? Very good, Jason. The straight line gradient definitely is a positive. You know how you know positive? Because from the left go to the right, they are going up, like that, going up. So that's why this gradient is definitely a positive. Then if like this there, very good, Natini, this gradient definitely is negative. Okay? Then guys, this one very good, Chushuan. This one gradient is definitely 0. You actually learn this under mathematics, but never mind if you forget, now you remember, okay? Whenever the gradient is horizontal, the gradient is always 0. Then guys, vertical, very good, Emily. The gradient will be undefined. So all these basic you guys must know, my dear. So when you're going up, your gradient is positive. When you're going down, your gradient is negative. When you're horizontal, your gradient will be 0. When you're vertical, your gradient will be undefined, okay? Because with this understanding, let's come to turning point, yeah? So guys, whenever we talk about turning point, so we are talking about curve, right? So curve, they maybe can have happy face, can have sad face, or let's say happy sad face for now the case. So isn't it these two is the turning point? So what do you realize on this particular 2 turning point, if I draw a tangent on these 2 points, how the tangent will look like? Very good, Jason. Very good, Key. So guys, do you realize on these 2 turning point, which I already say what is turning point, right? On these 2 highest point and the lowest point, do you realize their tangent is definitely look like this? And if I look like my dad, they definitely won't sing it and stuff like that because they are right on the most top and the most bottom. So their tangent is definitely a horizontal line. So isn't it just now we say horizontal line means what? Gradient will be 0. So it means that this particular point, the gradient will be 0. This particular point, the gradient will be 0. Make sense, right? And the pink color line is a what? It's a tangent because just now we learned tangent is a straight line touch the curve at one point. So isn't it that means we know, gradient for tangent is 0. We know gradient for tangent is 0. And then just now we say gradient of tangent, we call it what? Dy dx. So isn't it that means if we know gradient tangent will be 0, it means that we know that dy dx will also be 0. So there come to the conclusion that whenever you see the word turning point, definitely their dy dx will be 0. Okay, don't know whether you can listen to me, but I write here. So later on, if you guys see, I try to explain to you why dy dx equals 0. Of course, if you don't want to know why, you just want to memorize, then just memorize, okay, my dear? So you guys know that dy dx will be 0 whenever they are on the turning point. I repeat that because on the turning point, the tangent is horizontal. Horizontal gradient is always 0. That's why dy dx equals 0. But another thing is, you cannot always imagine only the word turning point. You guys will use dy dx equals 0 because there's other word that same meaning as turning point. Can anyone tell me what other word same meaning is it? Thank you, Sri. Thank you, Umaira. Stationary point. Okay, stationary point is also just another name for turning point. And then still got very good, Kira, maximum point, and very good, Yishuan, minimum point. So guys, all this is still talking about that particular turning point, right? So no matter if they say turning point, stationary point, maximum point, minimum point, all of them will be dy dx equals 0. But when you find dy dx equals 0, you can only get the turning point answer out. But what if they're asking you, whether that point is a maximum point or a minimum point, or how you know that leh? So maybe you will tell me, teacher, see whether they are happy face or sad face. But what if they didn't draw for you? Then if they didn't draw for you and yet you cannot guess and stuff like that, you must show them a working to prove that they are maximum or minimum. And very good, Yann. Wish you guys were very good, Chushen and Jermaine and Jason and Galok. Very good, all of you guys. You guys will need to differentiate it one more time, which we call it second derivative. First derivative is differentiate one time. Second derivative is differentiate 2 times. So my dear, you need to differentiate one more time to get what? d2y dx squared. Then based on d2y dx squared, how you know whether the people is maximum or minimum? You will see whether the d2y dx squared is a positive or negative. If they are positive, just imagine if you're a very positive person, you will always very happy. So when you're very happy, your turning point is at the bottom. At the bottom, we call it minimum. So if you're a very negative person, then you'll be very sad. So when you're very sad, your turning point is right on top. That's why we call it maximum. So this is how we know whether they are minimum or maximum. So overall, this is all you guys need to know to survive today. This part. Okay? Do you think okay? So guys, so far okay or not? Everything I say, like you know, this particular speed, this particular concept. For those who say okay, all my own students. I mean like those non like you know, your non-TTC student, like is this speed okay? Okay, Ken? Okay, thank you for comfort me. Okay. Of course. Now do it. Got people ask me, teacher, can I screenshot? Can. Nah, here you go. Nah, let me piece a bit. I think you will screenshot with my face on top of it. Done? Shall we? Okay, my dear. So guys, I repeat, my dear, you need to remember this, yeah? Wait, let me highlight whatever I need you to remember, okay? So remember, whenever later on they say gradient of tangent, they say gradient of curve, they say gradient function, all this is dy dx, okay? And then tangent normal, they times each other will always be -1. And remember, normal is the son, tangent is the father. So remember to draw the son that time, remember to draw the father first, okay? So if you guys see the word turning point, stationary point, maximum point, minimum point, remember dy dx equals 0. Then if you guys want to know whether they are maximum or minimum, you guys will use d2y dx squared to see whether they are positive or negative, to see whether they are minimum or maximum. Yep, this is everything you guys need to know. So let's get started. So don't have notes also, it is totally fine. Please, no worries about that. Let's take out your notes if you have it. If you don't have it, never mind. No need to copy the question, okay? Just write the question number down, okay? So guys, let's go to question 21. Let's get started, yeah? They say the curve y equals to fx. Okay, so guys, there's one particular curve they didn't draw for me, so it's just one curve, okay? So it's such that dy dx will equals to 3px plus 4. So guys, suddenly they didn't tell you the equation of curve, they straight away tell me a dy dx, okay? Like no need to differentiate, they already give me, you know. So next, full stop. I mean, p is a constant, okay? Full stop. Next one, the gradient of the curve at x equals to 1 is 10. Okay, guys, I read until here. Can anyone tell me what is 10? In word. Okay, thank you, Prisha. So guys, this 10, if you read the question, isn't it they say the gradient of the curve is 10, okay? So they try to tell me the gradient for the curve. Okay, gradient of curve, I write MC, okay, my dear. M is gradient, curve is C, right? So isn't it they try to tell me gradient of 10 curve now is 10, okay? They say when the x is equivalent to 1. So when the x is 1, your gradient for curve is 10, correct? Then here you go, you must remember what you memorized just now. Very good, Yixuan. So just now we memorized that gradient of curve, gradient of tangent, gradient function, all of them are what? dy dx. Constant, Rachel, constant means that the x can put 2, can put 5, can put 7. X is variables because they can change. But constant means they cannot change. So P, now you don't know what is the number, but P, let's say is a 2. They will forever be a 2. That is the meaning of constant. I hope you understand. So guys, gradient of curve, it means dy dx. So can you see how important for you guys to memorize it? So you guys know that, oh, gradient of curve is 10. Oh, means dy dx is 10. Oh, okay, dy dx is 10. So now they want to find what? Find the value of p. Oh, this is so easy. Why this is so easy, my dear? Because I know that they try to tell me gradient of curve is 10. Then if I memorize already, I know all that means dy dx is 10. So I know dy dx is 10. And the question already give me a dy dx. So the dy dx they give me and the dy dx I have easily can straight away combine them together. So 10 equals to 3px plus 4. And I want to find the answer for p. And very good, Xuan. So isn't it, I already know the x value is 1. Can you see? You know that when your gradient of curve is 10 is because your x is 1. Isn't it can sub 1 inside. So 3p times 1, 3p. Plus 4, move it over minus 4. 10 minus 4 isn't it 6. So the p answer times 3, move it over, divide by 3. I guess getting, oh, your p answer would be 2. Da-da-da-da. Can understand? Joey cannot send soft copy. You need to wait for hard copy. I'm so sorry, Joey. So my dear, cannot. Everyone okay or not? So far so good until this particular moment. Yes. Okay, thank you. Move slightly up. Question 22. Next, they say, given the gradient of the tangent of the curve at x equals to 3 is 7.5. So guys, I repeat that. I saw they say 7.5. 7.5 is what? When I read the whole questions, I realized they say gradient of the tangent, blah, 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 is 7.5. So isn't it from here, you guys know gradient is m. Tangent is t. Isn't it gradient for tangent, they try to tell me is 7.5. Okay, I think everything I write, you understand now because I just literally read it, right? So they say the curve equation is this one. So let me write down for you. This time they didn't give me the dy dx. They give me a curve equation. But they also got tell me when the x is what? 3. Okay, guys, everything they give you, I put a box now, okay? So you understand all that is not I self-created, they give me, okay? So now they want to find the value of n. So you know it's almost the same as the top one. So again, all you need to know is you must memorize gradient of tangent. So isn't it all? Because you know gradient for tangent, gradient of curve, gradient function, all this is very good, Roshan, dy dx. So that's why the moment you guys know gradient of tangent is 7.5, you straight away know dy dx is 7.5. Saw it? So if I know dy dx is 7.5, then how do I get the answer? Super easy. So just now the previous question, you can straight away take the dy dx and dy dx connect. But now you only got one dy dx. Another one, they didn't give you the dy dx. But never mind. I can find myself. Very good, Ewan. So my dear, for me to differentiate it, so this one, here got 1x, here got 1x. Isn't it I told you guys that whenever you guys got 2x, you need to check their relation between these 2x. So these 2x, isn't it one inside this bracket, one inside that bracket? So I think they are times relation. So times relation, you should use what? UV. But is it necessary to use UV? No. Why no need? Because guys, to be honest, this particular 2 bracket, there's no power. If there's no power, why don't you expand it first? So you see, x squared times 2, 2x squared. And x times x squared, isn't it x cubed? So you see, after I expand it all, do you realize that these 2x, they are not a times divide relation anymore, but they are a plus relation. So whenever they are plus minus relation, yep, you can use normal method. So this one still can use normal method, okay? Very good, Carlo. So guys, when I differentiate it, we call it dy dx. So differentiate that times and minus 1, yeah? So 2, 2, 4. Power tolak 1, 1. 1 no need to write, yeah? So this one, 3 times m, 3m. Power minus 1, 2. So do you guys realize that I already got my dy dx? So once I got my dy dx, so this is dy dx, this one also dy dx, isn't it? These two dy dx can equivalent to each other. So guys, I just sub the dy dx on the left-hand side. And then you're going to find the m answer, just need to make the x disappear. And you know that when your dy dx is 7.5, the x will be 3. So then it can sub 3 inside. Okay, move around. I think I should be able to get the answer. So this one, I expand it. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, 3 squared is 9. 9 times 3, 27m. So all the number, let's combine them together. So 7.5 minus 12, isn't it negative 9 over 2? So times 27, move it over, divide by 27. I guess getting the m answer, negative 1 over 6. Done. Is this particular speed, this particular concept, do you guys all okay with it? Yes, okay. Yes, okay, good. Let's go on. So question 23. They say, the gradient of the curve, blah, 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 at point negative 4, 8 is 8. This time, I think it's the same thing. They say 8. What is this 8? Isn't it gradient of curve? So I repeat again, gradient, I'll write M. Curve, I'll write C. So they try to tell me gradient of curve is 8. Okay? For this particular curve. So this time, they didn't give me the dy dx straight away, but they give me a curve equation. So I think this is the curve equation. This time, they didn't tell you what is the x value, but they tell me a point called negative 4, 8. Okay, everything I already write it down. Now they say find the value of A, find the value of B. So my questions is almost the same. It's just slightly added a bit of stuff. So I think all of you guys definitely will get it. And this one, they want to find 2 unknown. It's slightly different. No? Just now, the 2 questions, they only find 1 unknown. But this one, they will find 2 unknown. So guys, whenever they find 2 unknown, you must have more information to support this much of unknown. So you want to find 2 unknown, you must have 2 information. So how to do that? Okay, never mind. I do whatever you know how to do first, okay? So first, again, I saw the word gradient of curve. As you all memorize, gradient of curve, gradient of tangent, gradient function, all of them represent dy dx. So isn't it I straight away know, dy dx is 8. So again, do the question give me a proper dy dx? No, then I need to differentiate it myself. Very good, Trisha. Very good, Nahini. So guys, differentiate it, okay? So this one, when I differentiate it, we call it dy dx. I think I can use normal method because I got 2x, but they are a plus relation. So plus minus just using normal method. So times and minus 1, yeah? So 3 times a, 3a. Power minus 1, 2. Same for the next one. 2 times b, 2b. Power minus 1, 1. 1 no need to write that, okay? Then how about this 8? This 8, I don't see any x there. If I write myself, it's x power 0. So you guys all know that 0 times anything is still 0. So no need to write. So yep, this is my dy dx. And they say dy dx equals to what? 8. So isn't it I can put 8 on the left-hand side. Okay, so after I sub 8 inside, okay, I think put an arrow for you, okay, so that you guys won't get lost. So guys, I sub 8 inside, but I want to find the unknown for A and B. So if I want to find A and B, the unknown x should disappear. So what's the x value? So isn't it they already tell me on this particular coordinate where you guys can see the x is actually negative 4. So I can straight away sub negative 4 inside. Because I know that when my dy dx is 8 is because my x is negative 4. Saw it? Now I just expand it. So negative 4, if you guys square it times 3, isn't it positive 48? Okay, then the back part, I will get negative 8b equals to 8. Okay, guys, until here, no, I don't want to continue to get the answer, but do you realize you have 2 unknown? So I already say on the starting, when you want to find 2 unknown, you should have 2 information. So I think this is just the first information. And usually you guys will do simultaneous equation. So simultaneous equation, the equation 1, try your best to make it a single unknown. So when I look at this first equation that I already get, I feel like I can simplify it. 8, 48, 8. Isn't it all of them, I think can divide by 8. 8 divided by 8, 1. 48 divided by 8, 6. Negative 8 divided by 8, negative b. Okay, I think more simple in that way. And now, when you look at it, the easiest unknown I think I can see is negative b. So I don't want negative. I will throw it to the right side, negative b, move it to the left side, become positive b. Then the right side, I will left the 6a. And then the plus 1, move it over minus 1. Okay, I think this will be a wonderful equation 1. So b will equals to 6a minus 1, equation 1. So I need another equation. Where do I get another equation? I must have the equation that involve a and b. So mana ada a and b, and very good Yann, very good Roshan. For us to do that, my dear, you want to find a and b, right? Please understand that the a and b come from this equation. So you know that you have no other choice but must use this equation, because like that only I can find a and b out, right? So just now you already differentiate. Don't tell me you still differentiate, because I don't think you have the second dy dx for you to use unless you use back 8. But you already used 8 just now, so I don't think you will use it again. Then how do I get the second one? That's why. See, this is the original equation. And when you look at the original equation, do you realize they got unknown A, B, X, Y, got 4 unknown, right? And out of these 4 unknown, the one that you want to find is A and B. So if you want to find A and B, you just need to make the X and Y disappear. How do you make the X and Y disappear? This question, isn't it exactly going to provide me a coordinate? So I can sub the coordinate inside the equation. Very good, Yishuan. Don't ask me, teacher, why you simply sub. I didn't simply sub because quite obvious the curve at this point, that means this point is lies on the curve. So as long as they are on it, you're allowed to use it. So I sub low. So the Y is 8. The X is -4. Same for the back one, the X also -4. Square, -8. Let me expand it. So guys, 8 and 8, I combine 16. So -4, if I cube it, -64A. -4, if I squared it, +16B. Can you see that? Again, if I can simplify, I will simplify. Of course, it's not necessary, but normally you should do like that to avoid careless mistake. This one divided by 16, 1. This one divided by 16, -4A. This one divided by 16 is a single B. Okay, just like that, I think I got my perfect equation 2. So guys, I already got equation 1, equation 2. Isn't it now all we need to do is sub 1 into 2 by doing simultaneous equation. You want to use elimination also can, substitution also can, doesn't matter. You guys will get the same answer, yeah? So 1 equals to -4A. The B I sub inside, yeah, become 6A minus 1. -4A plus 6A, 2A. -1, move it over, plus 1 is a 2. Times 2, move it over, divide by 2. I guess getting, your A answer should be 1. After getting your A answer, remember to find your unknown for B, answer for unknown B. So let's sub back to equation 1. Or if you prefer equation 2 also can, you will get the same answer, no worries. So guys, the B, I get 5. Done. Just like that for this particular part. So far, okay or not? All of you, like, until this particular moment? Can jump, of course lah. Can, huh? Okay. Trust you, Let's go on. Question 24. Sorry for you guys. They say, the curve, this one, has a stationary point at -1Q. Find the value of P, find the value of Q. Almost the same as the top one, but this time slightly different. Because just now all the question you can see gradient of tangent, gradient of curve, but this time you don't see that. Then what is very important under these particular questions? Very good, Apana, isn't it? Is the question is a keyword that just now I taught you guys, which is stationary point. And as what you guys all remember, stationary point actually means the turning point. So turning point, stationary point, maximum point, minimum point, what formula go through your mind? Very good, Kira and Jinwoon. So isn't it dy dx equals 0? So just now I got to explain, I hope you guys got listen to me on the starting. So straight away you guys know, dy dx equals 0. Then again, do it, my dear. So you know that dy dx equals 0, then you want to use it. You want to use it, usually you will have another dy dx. Okay, I write out everything first. Okay, this is all the information I have. So again, for me to use dy dx equals 0, I must have dy dx. How do I have dy dx? I differentiate it. So I got 1x here, 1x here. They are a plus relation. So plus minus, just using normal method, okay? So guys, we just times and minus 1, yo. 4 times p, 4p. Power minus 1, 3. This x, nothing up there is a power 1. So 1 times 3, 3. Power minus 1, no more x. So this is my dy dx, okay? And I know dy dx will equals to 0. Isn't it? I can sub 0 inside. After I sub 0 inside, then I see the unknowns of 2 unknown, p and x, correct? I want to find p and q. So quite obvious, the p I can straight away sub. The x I can straight away sub, -1 inside. Can you see the coordinate is here? The same thing we keep doing. I don't really feel like you have any problem. My question just change a bit, like that for each and every one of the questions. So they could just progress a bit. So I don't think a bit will make any difference for you, okay? So -1 cubed times 4p, -4p plus 3. -4p, move it over, +4p. So times, move it over, divide. I guess getting, p is 3/4. Done. After that, you guys going to find q. How do we find q? Very easy, because you want to find P and Q. The Q come from the coordinate. And then the Q, quite obvious, is a Y. So which equation got Y? The original curve equation got Y. So isn't it, we can straight away sub the coordinate inside the equation, because you know that they say the curve has a stationary point on this point. So that means this point is on the curve. So on the curve, you are allowed to sub. So guys, the Y, you guys can sub Q. The X, you guys can sub -1. The X, you guys can sub -1. So -1 power 4 is a positive 1. Hey, sorry. Why I didn't sub my P also? My P also, I know, guys, 3/4 here. Okay, with the arrow, hopefully you guys understand. So here, this part, I press calculator, I get -4. This one is -3. So 3/4, if I minus 3, I guess getting the answer, -9/4. Ta-da-da-da. Done again. So far, so good. Understand every bit I say. Yes, very good. Let's go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. 25. Continue, law. So guys, okay, let me put like this. The curve, this one. Okay, let me write down first. The curve, this one, okay, has a minimum point at -2, 2 and passes through a point -1, 4. Find the value of M and P. This time not only finding one unknown, but want to find 3 unknown. Arisa, what are you saying? You check your spelling? I don't know what is that. So guys, okay, they want to find 3 unknowns. So this time they find 3 unknown. How do we do it? Again, I repeat. I don't see the word gradient of tangent. I don't see the word gradient of curve, but I see a very important word called minimum point. So guys, I repeat again, wherever they have the word minimum point, maximum point, stationary point, turning point, very good, Jermaine. dy dx will equal 0. Isn't it same as whatever we did just now, correct? So now you guys know, again, you want to use that. You want to use that, again, you guys will have dy dx first. How do I have dy dx? Differentiate it. Times and -1, 2 times m, 2m. Power -1, 1x. This one, nothing there is a 1, yeah? So 1 times n, 1n. Power -1, no more x. And then guys, the p and no x, so you know it's x power 0. So 0 times anything is 0. So no need to write. Okay, so this is my dy dx. Now I know dy dx equals to what? 0. So isn't it, I can straight away sub 0 inside. Okay, and then you want to find the unknown m and n, so you must sub the x inside, right? Guys, the x, I will sub -2, or I can also sub -1. Any of them, or -2 or -1. Very good, Ken Jiang. -2 only. Don't tell me you sub -1. You know why you cannot sub -1? Because my dear, now you are doing dy dx equals 0. When you are doing dy dx equals 0, that means you are only talking about the maximum minimum point. If you're only talking about the maximum minimum point, of course you can only sub the maximum minimum point coordinate. This one is just passes through. That one is not the maximum minimum. So don't simply sub, my dear. You cannot like, oh, teacher, any lah. Cannot, my dear. Because this minimum maximum point is only applied for this coordinate. So when you're doing dy dx equals 0, your x, you can only sub the -2. Okay, so -4m plus n equals 0. So n will equals to 4m. I don't think I can get the answer straight away, but at least I have equation 1 now. Can? So here got equation 1, guys. Where is other equation? Others very easy one. Same like whatever we did just now. You have to find m, n, and p. And all the m, n, p come from this equation. So that means we were definitely using this equation. And when you look at this equation, do you realize other than the unknown m and p, they also got x, they also got y. So they got 5 unknown. So they got 5 unknown. You have to find m and p. I think the x and y should disappear. So this x and y, how to disappear? Sub any coordinate you got passed through. So this curve got passes through -2, 2. So yep, we can sub -2, 2. And this curve, do they pass through -1, 4? Yes. This one, you guys can sub -1, 4. Don't tell me then, teacher, why this one can. Because now this one, we are not talking about maximum minimum point. We are only talking about whether your curve passing through that coordinate. So that means if they pass through, you can use it. So now we sub inside, yeah, the y is 2, the m tatao, the x negative 2 square plus n, the x is negative 2 plus p. So 4m minus 2n plus p equals to 2. How about another one? Same thing. Y is 4, m is m, x is negative 1. X is negative 1 plus p. Negative 1, if you square it, positive 1 times m is m. Negative 1 times n, negative n plus p. Isn't it equivalent to 4? So far, this one look like our Form 4 Chapter 3 system of equation. So do you guys realize, whoa, there's so many unknowns now. So now super duper a lot of unknowns, but it doesn't stop you from getting the answer. You just need to sub this one, okay, like this. Then my arrow won't stop you from understanding it. Okay, isn't it I can sub my equation 1 back to these two to make the unknowns lesser. So you can see that 2 equals to 4m minus 2. The n will be 4m plus p. Correct? At least if you sub the orange color one inside, then your unknowns will become lesser now, okay? So 4m minus 8m plus p. So 4 minus 8, okay, I do slowly lah. 4 minus 8 is negative 4m plus p. I think from here you guys will get p equals to 2 plus 4m. I think this can be your equation 2. So another one also I sub. 4 equals to m minus, the n is 4m plus p. So m minus 4m is negative 3m plus p. So p will equivalent to 4 plus 3m, equation 3. I think that's all okay, right? I still using substitution. It's just they have a lot of unknowns. You need to reduce the unknown one by one. So now I got equation 2, equation 3. I think equation 2, equation 3, I can straight away connect them. Since both of them is p. So I can straight away say p equals to p. So it's 2 plus 4m will straight away equivalent to 4 plus 3m. M and m combine, 4m minus 3m, 1m. Number and number combine, 2. Yes, my m answer is 2. After I find my m, let's find my p. So if I like equation 2, p will equals to 2 plus 4m. I guess getting your p answer, which is 10. Then after that, I want to find the n also, so I can sub back to my equation 1. N equals to 4m. My n, I will get 8. That. Hope you guys can see my step, or the step of subbing in one by one. Yep, just like that. So far, all of you okay or not until this particular moment? I just a bit insecure, so I keep asking, okay? I hope you guys don't mind of me like keep asking the same thing of like, oh, whether you can or not. Okay, like I need confirmation, okay? Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Let's go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. 26. Okay, they say the diagram, this one shows the curve. You guys can see the curve, y equals to x squared plus 8, and also a tangent to the curve. Okay, this time they will draw for you at the point 1, 9. Eventually, everything they say, I already can see in the diagram. So that's what they try to tell you. Then now they say, find the equation of tangent at point P. Okay, guys. Now they want to find equation of the tangent. I put some color for you so you know what we are doing now. So guys, you want to find the equation for tangent. Isn't it? I want to find the equation for this straight line. Okay. Tangent we all know is a straight line. So straight line equation, what do we always call a straight line equation, guys? Very good, Jason. Straight line equation, we always call it y equals to mx plus c. Basic, right? My dear, straight line is always y equals to mx plus c. So my way of teaching my student is like that. You try to follow my way because now you're in my class, okay, my dear? So y equals to mx plus c, you must always have two things. Okay? Y equals to mx plus c, you must always have two things. The first thing you guys must have is always the gradient. The second thing you must have is always a coordinate. Maybe you will tell me, teacher, a c. No. A c is something you always need to find it out. So I always tell my student that, wait, I'm very itchy. I always tell my student that you must have a gradient and a coordinate. So the coordinate, very easy one. As long as you got passed through it, you guys can always using it. So can you see that this particular straight line got passes through what? 1, 9. So that's why we can use the coordinate 1, 9. Done. Okay. Next, we must have the gradient. How do we find the gradient then? Gradient is so easy. Remember, now you're finding equation of tangent. That means I need gradient for tangent. And just today itself, we say so many times, very good Jason. Gradient for tangent, isn't it? That means it will represent the dy dx. Gradient of tangent means dy dx. So you want to find gradient of tangent, you just need to find dy dx. How do we find dy dx? Differentiate our curve equation. Can you see how easy it is? Very good, Tisha. So differentiate it with times and then we minus 1, yeah? So 2 times 1, 2. Power minus 1, 1. 1 no need to write. How about the 8? The 8 have no x, is x power 0. 0 times anything is 0. So yep, that is my dy dx. So why am I getting my dy dx? Because dy dx represent your gradient for tangent. But do you think you will write 2x like that? No, because gradient, it must be a number. So if you want to make it a number, the unknown x should be a number as well. How do I make it a number? You know your tangent lies on the curve at this point P, which is 1, 9. So that means you can sub the coordinate 1 inside. Yay, I got it. My gradient tangent is actually 2. You guys understand how I get it, right? So I just differentiate it and then sub the coordinate inside so I can get the gradient become a number. So now you guys get the gradient, got the x, got the y. Now it's the time to find the c. So y equals to mx plus c. Your y is 9. Your m is 2. Your x is 1. Your c tatao. Okay, I got the answer. My c is 7. Let's write nicely. Y equals to m x plus c. Done. Got the answer. Y equals to 2x plus 7 for this particular straight line. Done. Okay, just like that, okay? I go on now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know I should keep going the same type, but because I don't want the questions go suddenly too hard, so I will jump a bit of questions, okay? I hope you guys understand. So guys, I will go on to 28. 28, okay? So let's go on. The point P lies on the curve. Okay, even though it's not necessary to draw, but I scared you guys don't understand, so I'll draw for you guys, okay? So let's say there's a curve called y equals to 3x squared minus 8x. And there's a point called P, which is 1, negative 5. Okay, these I simply draw one. So let's say the curve look like this. So A, they say what? Find the gradient of tangent to the curve at point P. So my dear, I saw the word tangent. And all of you guys know tangent is a straight line, touch the curve at one point. So now they say they want to find the gradient for tangent. You know, that means they want to find this blue line. They want to find this blue line. So guys, how do I find this blue line? Now they want to find what? Gradient for tangent. Okay, you're going to find gradient for tangent. And as what all of you guys memorize, gradient tangent, isn't it? That means the dy dx. Can you see how easy it is? If I go on, you realize the questions change, but the core never change. So you just need to know the core. Everything they want to find, also you will understand how to do it. So guys, dy dx. So for us to find gradient tangent, we just need to find dy dx. For us to find dy dx, we just need to differentiate the curve equation. Times and minus 1, okay? 2 times 3, 6. Power minus 1, 1. 1 no need to write. 1 times negative 8, negative 8. Power minus 1, no more x. So yep, this is my dy dx. And then I want to get the gradient. So I want a number. If I want a number, I don't want the x. How do I make the x disappear? Sub the coordinate in. They say gradient for tangent at point P. So we can find point P. We can sub point P. So do you guys realize, oh, the gradient is actually negative 2. Done. A done. Let's go on with B. Now, A, people want to find gradient of tangent. So you're just finding the gradient out. But B, different, no? B, they say they find equation for normal. Okay, apa itu normal? All of you guys know. Normal will be perpendicular of tangent. Just now I already taught you guys on the static. So isn't it now they say they want to find the equation for normal. Write down for you. At the point P. So you know they're to find the son equation. So I tell you the son and the father is always 90 degree. So 90 degree, the formula you must remember is M1, M2 equals to -1. Everything I cover on the starting. Okay. So now they want to find equation for normal. So how do I find it? Just now how we find equation for tangent. Now we will do the same for equation of normal. So I repeat, straight line equation always called y equals to mx plus c. Whenever you want to find straight line equation, please make sure you have two things. The first thing you must have is gradient. The second thing you must have is a coordinate. Okay? But remember, bear in mind, now you want to find equation for normal. That means you need to have gradient for normal. Guys, is gradient normal dy dx? Is gradient normal dy dx? Very good, Jason, Kira, Jashan, Yiwen, very good. No, my dear, remember only gradient for tangent, gradient of curve, gradient function is dy dx. Gradient of normal is not dy dx. So how do we find gradient normal? That's why I say the son is very depends on the father. So the father gradient is what? Just now we already found out that the gradient tangent is -2. So guys, if gradient tangent is -2, then gradient normal will be very good, Trisha. Very good, Sri, Kira, I know. Very good. M1, M2 is -1, right? Just now I already taught you that's the shortcut method. Negative become positive. 2 actually over 1. 2 over 1 terbalik, isn't it 1 over 2? Got it. My gradient is 1 over 2. Can you see how easy it is, my dear? 1 over 2, don't tell me 2 is negative, become positive. You need to terbalik upside down. Hello, mana your upside down, my dear? So 2 over 1 terbalik, 1 over 2. So my gradient normal is 1 over 2. Next, I must have a coordinate. So this normal, this purple color line, they got passes through the point P. So I can use the point P coordinate. Now, can find the C lah. So y equals to mx plus c. So the y, -5. The m, 1 over 2. The x is 1. The c, tak tahu. So what is the C answer? -5 minus 1 over 2. I guess getting the C, -11 over 2. So guys, I write out the answer. Y equals to mx plus c. Yep. I think this is how the answer look like. That. So guys, no need to make them a form that look like that. General form, no need one, okay? With a fraction is totally fine. That. I think you guys understand. Okay. Here, yeah. I will go on to 29. Continue long. Hopefully it's not too boring. Okay, I don't know lah. Okay, can. Okay, 29. They say, given that the equation of a curve is this one. So guys, they give me a curve equation. Like again, so A, find the gradient of curve at point P, where the curve intersect the y-axis at point P. Don't know whether you understand, but let's say you don't understand. I draw for you, okay? So I draw a mini version here. So guys, let's say, I think the curve look like this. So let's say this is the curve. Y equals to 6x minus 2x squared minus 4. Okay, so now this is the curve. They say, find the gradient of curve. I think all of you know, gradient is M, curve is C. So that means they'll find gradient of curve. And as what we all memorize on the starting, gradient of curve means dy dx. So you want to find gradient of curve, isn't it? Find dy dx again. Don't tell me 0. They never say maximum, minimum, not 0. So my dear, gradient of curve, isn't it? That means dy dx. So how do we find dy dx? Isn't it? We just need to differentiate our curve equation. Let's do that again. Isn't it? All we need to do is just times at -1. So 1 times 6, 6. Power -1, no more x. 2 times -2, -4. Power -1, 1x. -4 differentiate 0. So isn't it? This is my dy dx, which is my gradient of curve. So normally you guys already get a gradient. You will sub the x inside. But hey, this question don't have dear. It's like that. You learn it under Form 4, Chapter 2. Whenever your A is a negative, that's why they are sad face. If your A is a positive, that's why they are happy face. Your basic. So guys, dy dx equals to 6 minus 4x, okay? So for you guys to get the gradient, you guys must sub the x value inside. So how do we find the x value inside? They never give me point P, but they got explained to me. They tell me that point P, okay, where this point P is when the curve intersect the y-axis will be at point P. That means if I draw the curve out, they will literally touch y-axis. And when you touch y-axis, that is what we call point P. So guys, after I draw it out, can anyone tell me, actually this point P is actually a what? Very good, Jashan. This point P, isn't it? Because they lies on the y-axis, we call it y-intercept. So y-intercept, very good, Nani. Nanhini. Y-intercept, x equals 0. Very good. So y-intercept, always x will be 0. So that means I straight away know, your x will be 0. So my dear, if you want to know the coordinate, you can straight away find it out, okay? And actually, y-intercept is like that. Do you guys realize this equation? It looked like y equals to bx plus ax squared plus c. I think their sequence look like that. So y-intercept is always the c. So the c, I think you guys look at it, also you guys know is -4. So that means if I want to write out the full coordinate for point P, I know the x is 0 and I know the y is -4. So this point P coordinate should be 0, -4. Understand? So now you guys know that we can sub 0, -4. So our gradient for curve will be, my x will be 0. So my gradient, I get 6. Done. Can A, okay? Let's go on to B, yeah? B, they say, find the equation of tangent of the curve at the point Q, 2, 0. So suddenly there's another point called 2, 0. Okay, I don't know where is the point lah, but let's say it's here. Okay, guys, it doesn't make any sense, okay, my dear? I just simply put, okay? So let's say this is point Q, 2, 0, okay? Now to find the equation for tangent. Remember, I repeat, tangent is the father, okay? So my dear, this straight line, I think is the tangent. So they find equation for tangent. You want to find this straight line equation. How do we find it? Straight line equation always called y equals to mx plus c. And I repeat, I must have two things. First, I must have a coordinate. Second, I must have a gradient and coordinate. So the coordinate, I got passed through what? Point Q, so I can use 2, 0. Done. Next, I must have the gradient. Guys, can I using the gradient 6 just now? Very good, Kira. No. Guys, you know why no? Because the 6, okay, I should put color. Okay, the 6, right, is because you sub 0, -4. And 0, -4 is at point P. So if they're asking point P, then the gradient of the tangent will be the same. But now you are asking for point Q. So for point Q, you must purposely find your own gradient because a curve got a lot of points. Then we'll have a lot of tangent. So every single tangent will have different gradient. So you cannot tell me, just now you already found and then you want to use it again. No, my dear. So now I need to find myself. So how do I find myself? So remember, gradient. Gradient for tangent. Gradient for tangent, yeah. So gradient for tangent, it means they are the dy dx. And just now, we already found our dy dx, which is 6 minus 4x. Can I see that? And then the coordinate, you already know, is 2, 0 for point Q. So I sub 2 inside. Yeah, I got the gradient tangent, -2. So gradient tangent, -2, the x, you guys got it. The y, you guys got it. Sub inside to find the c out. So the y is 0, the m is -2, the x is 2, and then the c we don't know. So do you guys see get 4? All right, nicely, yo. So isn't it y equals to mx plus c? That. Let's go on with c. Find the equation of normal. Different, look carefully. This time is at point R. Where is R? Let's say it's here. Okay, so guys, now to find equation for normal. Okay, I repeat, can you draw normal without drawing the tangent? No. So please draw tangent first, only draw normal. But now it's on different point. Look carefully, okay? So now, if this is the tangent, normal will be 90 degrees of it. So ugly. What happened to my drawing? Okay, 90 degree. Isn't it? This will be the normal. Okay, and the normal rely on the tangent. Okay, everything I put color. So guys, please don't be confused. We don't look at point P anymore. We don't look at point Q anymore. We only look at point R. Okay, so same like previous. Whenever you have to find straight line equation, we always call it y equals to mx plus c. So how many things you must have? Two things. First, you must have a gradient. Second, you must have a coordinate. Coordinate very easy because my normal passes through point R. So suddenly I can use point R coordinate 1, 0. Next, I must have the gradient. How do I have the gradient? I repeat again. You want to find equation for normal, you must have gradient for normal. But is gradient normal something you can straight away find? No, because I repeat, gradient of curve, gradient tangent, gradient function, only these three things, we call it dy dx. So it's very easy to find gradient for tangent, but definitely not gradient for normal. By the way, guys, can I ask you guys, all of you listener, can I take my gradient -2 and then turn it and then say my gradient is 1/2? Very good, I know, cannot. Guys, listen now. I'm very scared that you guys can say like that. That means you didn't really look at the questions, man. The A is doing gradient for point P. Okay. The B is doing equation of tangent for point Q. The C is doing equation of normal for point R. So one is this point, one is this point, one is this point. So when they talk about different point, then the gradient is not the same. Or you cannot tell me you take the B one and then just change it yourself. No. Just now the one we do, because it's the same, that's why we can use it straight away. But this one is different. You cannot use it straight away. Don't scare me. Cannot. So my dear, this one need to purposely find yourself. Yeah. So how do I find gradient for tangent? I just need to have dy dx. Dy dx, as you guys all know, we already have it here. 6 minus 4x. You know dy dx is always 6 minus 4x, but you will try to make it a number. How do you guys make it a number? You will sub point R inside, 1, 0. So if I sub 1 inside, I get gradient for tangent is 2. Can you guys see that? So the gradient of tangent is 2, yeah? So guys, so now you know that the red color gradient, this red color line, gradient for tangent is 2. So now I want gradient for normal for point R. So gradient of normal will be very good, Rachel. Very good, Chushen. So guys, this one very easy. This one, now it gets can terbalik. So M1, M2 is -1. +2 become negative. 2 actually over 1, yeah? 2 over 1 terbalik, 1/2. Okay, my gradient normal is -1/2. Yay. Finding the C is not a problem. Y is 0. M is -1/2. X is 1. C tatao. So C, I get +1/2. Let's write nicely. Y equals to M X plus C. That. Just like that. This is how I get the answer. So far, okay, all of you, like until this particular moment? Yes, may I know for those students who are usually not my student, like okay or not, this speed under this moment, do you like really feel like everything you understand for now? Like, yes, okay, very nice. Okay, very nice, then good. Okay, thank you. Thank you for compliment me, okay? I need all this. I'm this kind of very surface person, okay, I need all this to survive, okay? So guys, go on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. I will jump a bit, yeah? Because like that, my question you guys only can understand it, okay? Those questions I skip is not because they are not good, it's because I want the questions go harder just by a bit. I don't want too much, okay? So 31, they say point A lies on the curve, okay? So there's a point on the curve to start. It's given that the gradient of the normal at point A is -1/6. Okay, I read for you guys. This -1/6 is gradient of normal. I write for you guys. Gradient of normal is -1/6. They say, right? I just write it out. And then nothing else they say. Then they just say, find the coordinate A. You know, whenever they want to find coordinate, that means your answer should be a XY. So you know later on you must have XY. So throughout all the questions we did so far, they always give you the X and Y, but this time they don't give you the X and Y. Then how to do it? Actually still can do it. So how to do it, guys? Anyone can tell me what is the first thing you guys will do when you read at these questions, like, you know, what is the first thing you guys will do to make it easier to survive? And very good, Kenjang. Guys, listen to me. Now I have gradient for normal. I told you already, normal is the sun. Very useless one. The gradient for normal not really helpful for us, but different for gradient of tangent. Gradient of tangent can be what? Can be dy dx. So we better have dy dx lah. Gradient for normal, nothing, they can help me also, right? So if I am you, the gradient of normal they give me, I will try to find out the gradient for tangent because gradient of tangent is more useful. And very good, Xue Hui. So negative become positive, 1/6 terbalik, 6/1. So whoa, isn't it all of a sudden I know, oh, gradient of tangent will be 6. And all because no gradient of tangent, it means dy dx. Isn't it all of a sudden? Whoa, you straight away got, oh, dy dx is 6. If you guys straight away know dy dx is 6, then I think you guys can find it out. How do you guys find it out? You guys can use the equation of curve and find their dy dx. So how do I find their dy dx? So my dear, this one, normally power 2, if can expand, I will totally expand. Expand got 3 things coming out, yeah. This shortcut method you guys learn since for 1. X, you guys squared it, x squared, put it in front. Negative, negative, positive, 6, 6, 36. Middle, I write for you, middle, always using 2 times both of them. So the first one is x, the second one is negative 6. 2 times x, 2x. 2x times negative 6, negative 12x in the middle. So the name y is here. So every single thing done, only we done start to expand. I start to differentiate, sorry. Times and minus 1. 1 times 2, 2. Power minus 1, 1. 1 times negative 12, negative 12. Power minus 1, no more x. And 36 differentiate is 0. So once I got my dy dx, now I can sub 6 inside. So minus 12, move it over, plus 12. Times 2, move it over, divide by 2. Do you realize, I terbalik, get back, my x answer is 9. And you know this x is definitely coordinate A. How I so sure? Because we are using negative 1/6. And negative 1/6 is gradient for normal at point A. So because the negative 1/6 is for point A, the 6 also for point A. That's why this x answer is also for point A. So yep, just like that, I got the x answer. But do I get full marks? No. Because coordinate must have x, also must have y. So after you guys find the x, you want to find the y, super easy. Just sub back to the equation. So whenever you know the curve, your x is already 9, sub inside to get your y. So guys, the x is 9, the y is 9. Very good, Roshan. The point A, isn't it? Answer will be 9, 9. Done. So far, so good, all of you. Let's go on, yeah. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Slightly up, 32. A curve has a gradient function, this one where h is a constant. And before I continue, guys, what word shine there? Okay. No one want to talk to me. Very good, Jermaine. Gradient function. So guys, as all you guys know, gradient function, it means that one is a very good, Kira. It means that one is a dy dx. Told you guys before, gradient function, gradient of tangent, gradient of curve, they all means dy dx. So these questions straight away give me the dy dx. So just imagine lah, if you don't know gradient function is dy dx, you thought that one is y, everything wrong lah. So you must know that all. Next, they say the tangent to the curve at point 2, negative 6 is parallel to the straight line, this one. Okay, a lot of students there don't know about this part. So how do we do it? Okay, may I know from the second sentence, which word is a very important word? Very good, Jermaine. Thank you, Jason. Parallel. I still guess don't understand it. I simply draw, my dear. So this one, I also don't know how the curve look like. I seriously simply draw, okay? So the curve, I already know the dy dx will be hx squared minus 6x. That's what they say, right? Then they say the tangent to the curve at the point 2, negative 6. So where is 2, negative 6? I don't know, but let's say it's here lah. So if the 2, negative 6 is here, the tangent for this point, isn't it, will look like this. Okay, now they tell me the tangent, okay, to the curve at point 2, -6 is parallel to the straight line. So they try to tell me the tangent and the straight line is parallel. So parallel means they will look like this, my dear. Like this 90 degree called perpendicular. Parallel is like the same steepness level. So we call it parallel. So if the straight line just now are going down like this, of course this straight line also going down like this. Okay, this is the meaning of parallel. This one they say parallel. So this another straight line, they call it y plus 4x minus 8 equals 0. I hope all of you guys have this particular basic that straight line equation, whenever they write equal 0, we call it general form. General form, very useless one. The best form is gradient form. What? Y equals to mx plus c. So the y is here. Plus 4x, move it over minus 4x. Minus 8, move it over plus 8. This is always the best form. Because if you guys have this form, you guys can see that the gradient for this straight line is actually -4. Because y equals to mx plus c, correct? So this straight line gradient is -4. Then this straight line gradient is also -4. Why also -4? Very good, Nahini. Because they are parallel. Whenever they are parallel, they having the same steepness level, then of course their gradient will be the same as well. So this one -4, this one also -4. So both of them gradient also -4. And most important is here lah. Because this straight line, isn't it, is the tangent. So isn't it, that means we straight away know gradient for tangent is actually -4. And all of you guys know, gradient of tangent, we also call it dy dx. So isn't it, from all this understanding, we know that, oh, dy dx were equivalent to -4. So far, you guys understand, right? I hope throughout whatever questions I do so far, you will realize that the questions can only go harder and harder by hiding more information, providing you lesser thing, or providing you something very far away. So you must have a very clear mind that from the far away, try to analyze until whatever you like to have. That is the key. So we already know gradient for tangent now. From the parallel, from whatever stuff they try to give, I realize my gradient tangent is actually -4. So my gradient tangent -4, that's why I know dy dx is -4. So now A, they want to find the value for H. Should be quite easy because I already know dy dx is -4. So -4 will equivalent to this. And if I want to find the H answer, the x must be a number. They are telling me on the point 2, -6. So that means I can sub the coordinate 2 inside the x column. So 4h minus 12. Minus 12, move it over, plus 12. Times 4, move it over, divide by 4. Yes. Do you guys H answer get 2? Let's go on with B. B, they find equation for normal. Equation of normal to the curve at the point 2, -6. So all of you guys know the 2, -6, that straight line called tangent. And this one is the normal. So same as whatever we keep doing. Straight line equation always called y equals to mx plus c. Remember, must have two things. First, you must have a gradient. Second, you must have a coordinate. So this purple color line got passes through what coordinate? 2, -6. So I think I can use 2, -6 to find the answer out. And next, I must have the gradient. How do I have the gradient? I don't think I need to purposely find, because just now the blue color line, we already know the gradient is -4. So this purple color line, very good, Kira. So -4, change it over, negative become positive. 4 over 1, terbalik, 1 over 4. Isn't it straight away? You guys know that the gradient normal will be 1 over 4. Very good, Yuan, Yensao, and Nahimi. So y equals to mx plus c. So y -6, m is 1 over 4, x is 2 plus c. So 1 over 2 plus c. So c will be -6 minus 1 over 2. I got -13 over 2. I write nicely low. Y equals to mx plus c. That. Can I do something different a bit? Let's go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So far, you guys will realize as long as they're talking about tangent, normal, the concept is all like that. So can we do something different? 35. Can I? I look at the time, I feel like too slow just now. So guys, here, given that y equals to 2x bracket x minus 6, okay? So A, they just want to find dy dx. That means just want me to differentiate it. Super easy. So don't tell me, oh, teacher, this 2x is a times relation. Teacher, should I use UV? Yes, you should use UV, but it's not necessary because this bracket have nothing on top, so you guys can expand it. 2x times x, isn't it 2x squared? 2x times negative 6, isn't it 12x? So if I already got y, I want to find dy dx. It's not a problem at all. All I need to do is just times and minus 1. So 2 times 2 is 4, power minus 1, 1. 1 times negative 12 is negative 12. Power minus 1, no more x. Yep, I already got my dy dx. So A, you guys understand? Let's look at B. B, they say, find the value of x when y is minimum. Guys, I finished reading. Which word shine there? Very good, Roshan. Minimum. Can anyone tell me again, whenever you guys see the word minimum, maximum, turning point, stationary point, what formula go through your mind? Very good, Yann and Jason. Dy dx equals to 0. So you know I just need to use that because I already memorized that. Very good, Sophia and Ewan and Haziba. So my dear, since I want to know, I want to use dy dx equals 0, and we already found dy dx, isn't it just sub-0 inside? After you sub-0, do you realize the only unknowns you guys can see there is x? So terbalik, find the x answer is not a problem. So that means if my dy dx is 0, my x should be a 3. So after you guys find your x, let's look at C. C, then find the minimum value for y. Please don't tell me, teacher, dy dx equals 0. Guys, you already did dy dx equals 0. I don't think you do dy dx equals 0 again, you can find the y answer. But throughout the dy dx equals 0 just now, you guys already get your x answer. So whenever you guys already get one of your maximum minimum answer, you want to get other maximum minimum answer, you just need to, very good, Yann Sao, you just need to sub. No need d2y dx square, my dear. This one, no need to d2y dx square, okay, my dear. This one I already say minimum, this one no need, okay. So my dear, this one, you want to find the x answer, isn't it just sub back to the y equation? So remember, as long as you guys get one maximum answer, you're going to get other maximum answer. You just need to sub, because not like you don't have it. You already found it. So sub law, 2 times 3 minus 6. I guess getting negative 18. Done. Just like that. Move slightly up, 36. Can? Fine. Find the coordinate. I repeat, coordinate, that means x and y. Find the coordinate of the turning point for this curve. I repeat again, when I read the questions, I saw the word that shine there called turning point. So remember, you see the word turning point, maximum point, stationary point, minimum point. You always remember the formula, which is dy dx equals to 0. Can? They say, hence, determine whether the turning point is a maximum or minimum. And this one purposely ask. So the first thing, they just want to find the turning point. But after that, they want me to determine whether the turning point is a maximum or minimum. Very good, Jermaine. So guys, to knowing whether you are a maximum or minimum, you don't tell me, teacher, look at how the drawing look like. Guys, you cannot do like that because you must have working of showing them how you know it's a maximum or minimum. So to have the working of that, you must have second derivative. Second derivative means differentiating one more time. Just now on the starting, I already told you, right? So d2y dx squared to see whether they are positive or negative. Scared you guys forget, I write back everything again, okay? So positive, that means happy face. Happy face, that means minimum. Negative, that means sad face. Sad face, that means maximum. So we'll be using d2y dx squared to see whether they are minimum or maximum. So let's do it, yeah? So my dear, my curve equation is y equals to 2x squared minus x power 4. So I already know dy dx equals 0. I just want to use dy dx. How do I using dy dx? I will differentiate it. So 2 times 2 is 4. Power minus 1, 1. 4 times 1 is 4. Power minus 1, 3. I got my dy dx. And you know dy dx will equals to 0 when we are doing turning point. Saw it? So now all I need to do is just, find the answer out. Guys, okay, let's find. So this one. Okay, never mind. I'll find for you guys. So guys, this one, how do I do it? I was just moving around. Negative, move it over positive. Equals to 4x. 4 divided by 4 only got 1. Okay. Hey guys, can I say something about this part? I know the answer only showing you 1. But to be honest, it's not only 1. Maybe some of the guys will get the answer, but to be honest, they are not like that. You know why? Anyone already did it, and can you tell me how many answers you guys having? No one? No. Hey, very good, Sean Ong. Is it Sean Ong? 3, my dear. Got 3, my dear. You know why 3? Okay, guys, listen to me. If you're my student, I remember I taught before. Whenever they are square, okay, they are either happy face or sad face. If the equation is cube, they are always happy sad or sad happy. Why I draw the same thing? Sad happy. Okay? But now this one, do you realize they are power 4? Power 4, that means they should be like this. Or they should be like this. Okay? So, power 4, they should have 3 turning points. That how they have 3 turning points? Wow, Wen Hui answer is the best. Okay, never mind. The rest of you listen. So you know why a lot of you guys only get 2 answers? Because on this part, you guys will move it over and times move it over, cut. Then you guys will tell me x squared equals to 1. Theoretically, you're not wrong. But practically, you're not wrong. But in theory, you're wrong. Why, my dear? Because listen, whenever they got power 3, power 2, you shouldn't, okay? You shouldn't using what is that called? Divide method. You should using factorization method. What's the meaning of factorization method? You should move everything to one side. So that means plus x, you should move it over, become minus x, okay? Then usually until here, you will normally press calculator, correct? For x squared. What is that? X cube or cube cannot press. Well, so how can we do for cube? So you're using calculator, you are actually factorizing them. But of course, you can also manually factorize them. Here got x, here got x. Isn't it? I can pull out at least 1x. So x cubed 3, I pull out 1. Isn't it? I left x squared inside. Then the second one, if I pull out the x, nothing left there, isn't it left 1? Okay? And then all of you guys should know, x squared minus 1 can also expand to 2 brackets. But of course, you want to press calculator also can. But anyone know x squared minus 1, if I expand it, the 2 bracket, what will I get inside the 2 bracket? Very good, Key. Very good, Ken Jiang. So guys, x squared is actually x times x. That's why it's x squared. Then negative 1 is actually 1 positive 1, 1 negative 1. That's why at the end, it will be x squared minus 1. For those who don't trust me, you can try to expand this. You will seriously get back the top one. So this is exactly how it look like, okay? So you should have 3 brackets. I don't know whether you guys know this basic, but supposedly this 3 bracket, when you do it manually, is the first bracket equals 0, the second bracket equals 0, the third bracket also equals 0. Then only you guys will get the answer. So you see, x equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. X minus 1 also equals 0. So plus 1, move it over, minus 1. Minus 1, move it over, plus 1. So do you guys realize I got 1, 2, 3, 3 turning points? Yes, you should have 3 turning points for this particular curve. Because they are powerful, so they will have happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. So that's why they will have 3 turning points. But remember, turning point not only have the x, but also have the y. How do we have the y? Sub. I sub back to the y equation, yeah? So I get 0. This one, I will sub negative 1. This one, I will sub 1. So 2 minus 1, 1. 2 minus 1, 1. So guys, at the end, I got the answer. 0, 0, 1 turning point. Negative 1, 1, 1 turning point. 1, 1, another turning point. So is the answer got problem, yeah? So guys, just like that, I got 3 set of answer. Isn't it? I got 3 turning point in total. But please don't stop there, because after that, they're asking me to determine whether the turning point is a maximum or minimum point, which I already say using d2y dx squared. So I do it here, yeah? My dy dx is actually 4x minus 4x cubed. So ask me, teacher, where you got it? I just copied from the previous, yeah? So for us to determine whether you are maximum or minimum, we must have d2y dx squared. Differentiate it one more time. So 1 times 4, 4. Power minus 1, no more x. 3 times 4 is 12. Power minus 1 is 2. So this is my d2y dx squared. And to knowing whether they are maximum or minimum, you must see whether they are positive or negative. Can anyone tell me? So they are positive or negative? 4 minus 12x squared. Is a positive or negative? Very good, Jashan. Very good, Jason. Not sure yet. For those who say positive or negative, simply say, my dear. How you know, my dear? This is not even a number. They must become a number, okay? So how do you guys make it a number? You must purposely sub. I know, very troublesome, but yeah, you need to do that, okay? So this d2y dx squared, I will sub different x inside, so that I knowing whether they are maximum or minimum. Make sense, huh? So 4. 4 is a what? Positive. Positive is what? Happy face. Happy face is what? Minimum. Okay? Then this one, d2y dx squared. Isn't it 4 minus 12? The x is negative 1 square. This one, I will get negative 8. Negative means what? Set face. Set face is what? Maximum. Okay? Then this one also same, d2y dx squared equals to 4 minus 12 times 1 square. This one also I get negative 8, also a negative, also a set face, also a maximum. So the answer, you should write like that. Minimum point, 0, 0. Maximum point, negative 1, 1. And another maximum point, 1, 1. Ta-da! That. This is how you guys write the answer in full form. So far, okay? All of you. Thank you, Aini. Yes, go on, lo. Okay, good. Let's go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Next. Because our time not really have a lot of leftover. Can I? It's not very hard. These are not very hard as well. Okay, 41. 41, yeah, 41. I jump a bit. I look at the time, not enough time, my dear. I left 23 minutes. So my dear, 41. The curve, this one, passes through a point A, 2, 3, and has 2 turning point P and Q. Wow, this curve legit got a lot of stuff. Okay, my dear. I draw for you guys, yeah. So this particular curve, when you look at it, when you look at this curve, can anyone tell me how the curve look like when you just look at the curve equation? Since I already taught you guys a bit of basic of how you guys know the curve, how it look like. Very good, Jashan. Guys, this one is x cubed. So if they only got square, it's either happy or sad. But if they got cube, it's always happy sad or sad happy. So let's say they are happy sad. I simply draw, okay? So guys, this is the curve equation that they're talking about now. Okay? They say this curve will passes through 2, 3 and has 2 turning point P and Q. So you guys know that there's 2 turning point, one called P, one called Q. Okay? At the same time, they got pass through point A. Let's say A is here, 2, 3. Don't ask me, teacher, how you know the A is there. I don't know. I just simply draw, okay, my dear. I just draw any other way, any other places except the turning point part, okay? So when you guys read at all this, please understand that the keyword that shine there is turning point. And whenever you guys see the word turning point, isn't you guys will remember dy dx equals 0 again. So I already pre-write everything I can write before I start, yeah? Let's start from A. A, they define gradient for curve. Gradient for curve is MC at point A. Can How to find gradient of curve? Or if you guys know gradient of curve, it means they are the dy dx. Correct? So just find the dy dx. How do we find the dy dx? Isn't it? Don't tell me, teacher, dy dx equals 0, my dear. That is for turning point. That is not for point A. So for point A, you guys want to find the turning point. You want to find the dy dx, just differentiate the curve equation. I differentiate long, nothing in front 1. 3, 1, 3, power minus 1, 2. 6, 12, power minus 1, 1. 1, 9, 9, power minus 1, no more x. And 1 differentiate will be 0. This is my dy dx. And then this is talking about point A, isn't it? This point A coordinate. Sub inside all. So guys, my x will be 2. For this one, the x also 2 plus 9. So 3, 2 square minus 12, 2 plus 9. Getting the gradient of curve at point A is actually negative 3. That. A understand? Let's go on to B. B, they say, find the equation of normal. Equation of normal. To the point at A also. So still at A, yeah? So I scared you guys don't know, draw for you guys. Okay, here. So tangent will be this straight line. Okay, that is for tangent. Normal will be 90 degrees of this straight line. Okay, so this purple color one is normal. How do we find it? You know it's the same thing because we keep doing. So straight line equation always called y equals to mx plus c. Must have two things. First thing, must have the gradient. Second thing, must have a coordinate. Coordinate is super easy as long as you guys pass through it. The purple color straight line passes through point A, 2, 3. So suddenly I can use the coordinate 2, 3 there. Next one, I must have the gradient. How do I find the gradient for normal? So better have gradient for tangent. And guys, gradient for tangent, very good, Xue Hui. So guys, gradient for tangent, okay. What color? Oh, blue color. So gradient for tangent, isn't it? And gradient for curve is the same thing as long as we are talking about the same point. So gradient of curve, do we already found just now? Yes. Just now we already found that the gradient for curve at point A is negative 3. So from A, we already know the gradient of tangent is negative 3. Then for gradient normal, just terbalik. Negative become positive. 3 over 1 terbalik, very good, Yiwen, 1 over 3. So with that, now I want to find the C out. So the y is 3, the m is 1 over 3, the x is 2 plus c. So 2 over 3 plus c equals to 3. So C answer will be 3 minus 2 over 3. I guess getting 7 over 3. Write nicely, y equals to mx plus c. That, just like that. Very good, Aini. Next one, C. C, they say find the coordinate Q. Out of a sudden, they will find coordinate or coordinate is x, y. And look carefully, they also want you to determine whether you're maximum or minimum. As we already did just now, whenever you guys want to determine, you guys will do d2y dx squared to check whether people are positive or negative. Right? Same like previous. So guys, how do I find coordinate Q? So don't tell me, teacher, is it same as point A? No, this is coordinate Q. So on the starting, they already tell me point P, point Q is the turning point. Turning point, isn't it? That means dy dx equivalent to 0. So we are using dy dx equivalent to 0. So the dy dx, we already have it here. So I just sub inside equivalent to 0. So usually can simplify, we will simplify. This one general form, right? Take your calculator, start to press. Mode, 1 ransack 2. The first answer, I get 3. The second answer, I get 1. Isn't it? X minus 3, x minus 1. Guys, you know why you get 2 answers? Just now, the previous question, we get 3 answers because they have 3 turning points. Now I get 2 answers because I got 2 turning points. But this question, they never ask for the turning point. They ask for point Q. So can anyone tell me point Q is the coordinate 3? The answer is what, 3 or 1 for point Q? Very good, very good, very good, Nahini, very good, Kira. The X answer should be 1. How you know it's 1? Because, my dear, these questions, on the starting, they already say you have 2 turning points. And the 2 turning point, 1 is P, 1 is Q. So isn't it Q is here, P is here. So that's why you guys get two answers is very normal. And out of these two answers, the one who are x equivalent to 3 exactly is for point Q, point P. Can you see that? The point P, x is 3, so the 3 is for point P. So that's why you guys know that the x equivalent to 1 then is quite obvious for point Q. Because two answers for 2 points. So the 3 is P, then the Q, that naturally is for 1. Can? So you want to get a coordinate. After find the x, remember to find the y. Subtract to the y equation, yeah? So subtract to the curve equation, don't sub to the straight line, it's curve. So the x is 1. Sub 1 inside. I get 5. So the x I get 1, the y I get 5. Isn't it in full form? My coordinate Q will be 1, 5. Done. So guys, after this, remember to find your d2y dx square. How to find d2y dx square? Isn't it differentiate one more time? Okay. Can see that? So d2y dx square. 2 times 3, 6. Power minus 1, 1. 1 times negative 12, negative 12. Power minus 1, no more x. And number differentiate is always 0. I repeat, please don't tell me, oh, teacher, this one positive, or teacher, this one negative. Hello, you don't know, my dear. This one got unknown inside. So the unknown must make it a number. So the x must make it a number. So this x, will you simply sub? No, because you want to find coordinate Q. So you will sub coordinate Q inside. So my d2y dx square will be 6. My x will be 1 minus 12. So I got negative 6. So negative 6. Negative means what? Set phase. Set phase means what? Maximum. So you already determined, oh, the point Q is seriously a maximum point. Done. So far, everyone, so far so good until this particular moment. Yes, thank you. Let's go on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Next. Hey, this one not bad. It is 42. It's a real SPM questions that came out before. And let me read for you guys, okay? The diagram of this one shows a cubic graph y equals to fx. So guys, this curve called y equals to fx. And there's a linear graph y equals to gx. So y equals to gx is a straight line. So there's these two things, okay? So next, point A lies on the straight line. So point A is on the straight line where you all can see it. And B, C, D lies on the curve. So B, C, and D all on the curve, okay? So full stop. The tangent to the curve at B and C are parallel to the axis. So you try to tell me the tangent on B and on C is actually parallel. Okay, I shouldn't use this color. At point B and point C is actually parallel to the axis. Okay, I think my pink color line, you guys can see it, okay? Next, they say state. State which point that satisfied the following condition. Now, these are real SPM questions. If not mistaken, they came out in 2019, I think. 2019, something like that. Okay, 2019, 2020, like that. So, guys, the first one, A. A, they say what? dy dx equals 0. Can anyone tell me? This time, they don't have the keyword, but they tell me now your dy dx equals 0. Can you tell me again what situation your dy dx will be 0? Very good, Jashan. Thank you, Hazira. So, guys, dy dx equals 0, isn't it? Is when it's a maximum point, minimum point, turning point, stationary point, then dy dx equals 0, correct? So now they're asking you, which point, that means you will write the coordinate out. You don't need to write the x and y value out. You just need to write the name out. So they're asking you, which point that will be dy dx equals 0. That means which point is the maximum minimum point. So you look at your graph, you look at your graph, you see which one is the highest point, which one is the lowest point, and very good, Felicia. So isn't it dy dx equals 0 is when your gradient for tangent is horizontal. So when you look at a curve, do you realize point B and point C, one is the highest, one is the lowest. So isn't it my turning point coordinate will be B and C. Done. So maximum minimum point is B and C, just like that. Done. Next one they say what? dy dx is more than 0. This one's slightly different, but today itself on the starting I already covered. So guys, listen to me. dy dx, they say more than 0. More than 0, that means they are positive. Correct? What's the meaning of dy dx again? Very good, Kira. Dy dx, isn't it? That means gradient for tangent, gradient for curve, gradient function, right? So that means the moment they say dy dx more than 0, that means from my understanding lah, it means gradient tangent more than 0. Understand? If gradient tangent more than 0, that means gradient tangent now is a positive. So if gradient is a positive, that means how the straight line look like? Very good, Jermaine. Just now I already told you guys, if gradient for tangent is positive, that means you are going up. So can you look at every single gradient of tangent for that particular point of A, B, C, D? Which one is actually going up? Very good, Yvonne. Point A. So you just write A, done. Get another 1 mark. I remember this question when they came out, it was 2 marks or 3 marks. So just like that, I think you get half marks. It's 3 marks here. Oh, so you get 1 mark. Just write A and then get 1 mark. Wow, do you feel like NX now full with hope, my dear? So just like that, A. Got one person tell me, teacher, why is it not D? Okay, guys, look at me. Point D look like this, right? Okay. Point D, how point D look like? Oh, point D look like that. Yeah. Correct also? Wait, point D look like this. Point D make more sense, Key. What you saying is true. Wait, why the answer they never write point D? Wait, it made me struggle a bit. What you saying is correct. What can I say? My dear, now this one, I will look through it, okay? Because this point D supposedly, yes, what Key say is correct because they are also flying up, but they are very, very straight. Is it that's the reason why? I don't know, but the answer is actually just point A. Never mind, I will look through it, okay? I will give you guys an understanding after this. I will explain later, okay? So my dear, this one later on only I see, but the answer is A lah, okay? Yeah, it's a curve. It's not a straight line. No, it's a straight line. It's a straight line because it's a tangent. Tangent is always a straight line, touch the curve on one point. So it's the straight line. What Key say is totally correct one. But why the answer don't have that is what I need to figure it out. Not must be a turning point. For those who thinking, teacher, but maybe that one is not a turning point. No. Because not turning point also okay one. Not turning point also okay one. Because you're a point, we are talking about the tangent. Yeah, everything we're talking about is tangent. Like this one, dy dx equals 0, also talking about tangent. But Key, I think what they say makes sense, Key. Because they're asking me, state which point that satisfied the following condition. No, actually, I think what you say also correct. Got a lot of idea. I feel like everyone is correct. My dear. Maybe the diagram sang it a bit, so it looked like a positive. No. It's definitely positive, Anu. Because it's like this. Because they didn't okay, because the curve draw until super duper sharp. That's why you don't feel like that straight line look like a going up straight line. But seriously, it's a going up straight line. Because just imagine if you don't draw this sharp, you draw flatten a bit. This particular point is also like that. It's definitely going up. And don't tell me, teacher, maybe they are undefined. Because teacher, maybe they are vertical. No. Tangent don't have vertical, my dear. Vertical straight away is undefined already, right? So, I don't think they are vertical. Or they are vertical. I keep questioning myself. Oh my God. But yeah, the answer just really don't have it, my dear. Like this answer, this is a real SPM question. So this answer is a real SPM answer, my dear. It's only got point A. Don't have point D. Okay, I'll try to figure it out why there's no point D, okay? So next one, C. C, they say d2y dx square more than 0. Look carefully, it's not dy dx more than 0. It's d2y dx square. Then can anyone tell me d2y dx square is for when only we use that? Very good, Nadi, to see whether they are maximum or minimum. Isn't it? That's what we're doing, right? So now when they say d2y dx squared more than 0, that means you are positive. So based on what we know just now, positive, that means what? Happy face. Happy face, that means what? Minimum. Happy face lah, what sad face, my dear? More than 0 leh, positive leh, my dear. Never mind, I forgive you, okay? So my dear, happy face, isn't it minimum? Then you look at your curve, you only got 2 turning point there. There only one maximum, one minimum. So which one is the one that are minimum? Point C. Isn't it just like that? Very good, Kira. Done. Guys, easy, huh? Understand everything I say, huh? Can? Teacher, what about d2y dx squared equals 0? Oh, don't have 0, Curry. Is it? I never see that before. I don't think they have it. Because if their d2y dx squared equals 0, that means they are not even maximum point, they are not even minimum point. Guys, I go on now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. Okay, guys, because I don't have enough time, but can I just do this one? 46. This is undefined, right? No, Roshan, because the way they draw, I really don't know whether it's undefined or not. It's very certain. It's very it's very unsure the way they draw right there. So guys, let's look at 46. 46, they say the diagram shows a front view of a part of roller coaster track in a miniature park. So guys, this is a roller coaster, okay? So yeah, you guys can see this is the horizontal ground. That's what they say, and this is 5 meters away, okay? The curve, sorry, this one typo. Is curve. The curve part of the track is represented by the equation, this one. So you guys know that this one is actually the equation for the curve, okay? They say with point P as the origin. So guys, point P is the origin. That means if this one, if I draw it out, the x-axis, y-axis, that means they are like this, and this part is the origin. So I think this is the x-axis, this is the origin, this is the y-axis. But of course, it's not necessary to draw it out, but I try to draw it out so that you guys understand it. So they say, find the shortest vertical distance from the track to the ground. So guys, they want to find the shortest. Okay, this one also need a bit of basic of whatever you guys learned in last year, okay? So now they want to find shortest vertical. You know what is vertical, right, guys? Like this, called horizontal. Like this, called vertical. So they want to find the vertical line, okay? Vertical is just like this, okay, my dear? So they want to find the vertical line, okay, from the track to the ground. So guys, whenever they want shortest, anyone remember shortest vertical line, that means how? No. I'm asking shortest, this word always means what? Hey, very good, Jason. So guys, shortest, don't tell me teacher closest. Hello, my dear, you are just giving me another explanation of what is shortest, my dear. No, whenever you see the word shortest, closest, all this word, it always represents 90 degree. Okay, please remember, I remember I told a lot of students before, but maybe you're not my student, then listen, my dear. So let's say this is like this is a floor, and this is a rubbish. So I want the rubbish to throw to the floor by using the shortest distance. So when you throw like that, you'll be like, ew, dong, only reach the floor. Or if you throw like that, ew, dong, also only reach the floor. Throw upward, ew, dong, only touch the floor, my dear. All this is not the shortest. Then the shortest way for the rubbish to go to the floor is always just release your hand and let it drop, my dear. This is always the shortest distance. So this explains that whenever they say shortest, it always means 90 degree. So remember, shortest vertical distance, it means they must be 90 degree. So just imagine this question, if they don't have the word vertical, you also need to know they definitely is vertical line, because they must be 90 degree, okay? So they want the shortest vertical distance from the track to the ground. So guys, the ground is here. So the shortest distance, isn't it, will be to the ground, my dear. So a lot of you guys will tell me, teacher, isn't it here shortest, here shortest? Guys, it's not there. It's to the ground level. So you see, ground level is this purple color part. Can see, huh? And then the curve, the track will be this one. So when I look at the track and when I look at the ground, the shortest distance for the track to the ground, isn't it, is on this spot. Can you see that? Isn't it? That is the particular spot we're talking about. And this particular spot is very depends on this particular point. And this particular point, isn't it quite obvious, look like the minimum point of the whole track. Very good, Apana. So that's why you guys know that, oh, this question, even though they don't have the word maximum, minimum, turning point, stationary point, but you know they're doing that. So to do that, isn't it, you guys must know dy dx equals 0 for maximum minimum point. So how do we do that? Let's differentiate it. So my y equation will be this one. Okay, dy dx times and minus 1, 3 times this, 3 over 16. Power minus 1, 2. 2 times 3 over 8, 3 over 4. Power minus 1, 1x. So once I get dy dx, we know dy dx will equivalent to 0. Isn't it? Can straight away sub 0 inside. Normally I can simplify, I will simplify. So I don't like fraction. Everything I can times 16, I times 16. Yeah? So 3 over 4, if I times 16, it will be 12x. Can continue divide by 3, I will divide by 3. I think this is the shortest, simplest form. So I will press calculator to factorize it. I think you guys will get two answers. One is 0, one is 4. So guys, 0 quite obvious is the point P. So I think this lowest point should be point 4. So guys, don't just do that. You must have the coordinate, right? So after I got the x, I'm going to find a y. How do we find the y? Isn't it the y equation will be this one? So I know that the 0, I will reject it because I don't want to find point P, I want to find the minimum point. So the minimum point, I know the x is 4. So we will sub 4 inside. So 4 cubed divided by 16 minus 3 over 8 times 4 squared. I get negative 2. So guys, in full, here, my this point coordinate is 4, negative 2. So guys, is that the answer already? No. This question never asking the turning point. They want to find what is the vertical, shortest vertical distance from the track to the ground, right? So you guys know that when you guys get 4, negative 2, that means in full the coordinate, this part will be 4. This particular height will be negative 2, correct? So can anyone tell me, so what is the shortest distance for this point to the ground? Very good, Jason. Guys, a lot of students wrong. It's because you will tell me, a teacher, 4, what 2, all wrong. 4 is how fat you are. It's the width part. I'm not finding the width part, I'm finding the height part, correct? So definitely it's not 4. So I think it's the 2. But negative 2, do it mean they are negative 2? No. Because the origin, where should I put? The origin is here. Here is 0. They say here to here is 5 meters. So if origin downwards 5 meters, that means this particular ground, isn't it, is on negative 5. So just imagine the ground is negative 5. And now my minimum point is negative 2. So negative 5 to negative 2, isn't it, the gap in between is our shortest vertical distance, which negative 2 to negative 5, isn't it, their distance will be 3. What unit they using? Meter. Isn't it the shortest vertical distance from the track to the ground? Isn't it 3 meters? How to know original draw up? I didn't create it. Yishan is here. Point P as the origin. Ayo, I just now got read. Hello, my dear. So my dear, isn't it just like that? That's why this one to the ground is 3 meters. That. By the way, I want to say, even though it's not very necessary, but nowadays all the answer scheme, they will give you marks for checking whether they are minimum. So now this one, they say they are minimum. Like, and they never say minimum, maximum, but they might have marks given for determining whether they are maximum, minimum. So just in case that will happen, so normally I will do d2y dx squared to check whether they are seriously a minimum or not. So please don't jump step. We better do everything we can do just in case we, missing some marks. How to sure negative 5 let even the soalan bagi? Key, the question already give you. What will you do to suspect the questions? I don't understand what is the point that will make you. I know it doesn't look like negative 5 because the 2 looks so big. The 5 But sometimes the drawing is just drawing. You cannot just think like that. Teacher, can I explain how to get 3? Jacqueline, you see, what is that? The floor is on 5-meter depth, okay? And your roller coaster, because you get 4 -2, so you know the gap here is -2. So you see, the gap here is -2, the gap here is -5. That's why the gap, okay, what should I do? Here to here, -2. Here to here, -5. And the question asking the vertical distance from the lowest point to the floor. Isn't it they are finding this point? So 5 meter, 2 meter, that's why the leftover 3 meter. Like that, you understand? Do you think I draw like that? You guys understand? I think okay, right? Yeah, key, I understand. Hey, like that, understand or not, guys? Can is it? Cannot understand, I can explain one, you know, my dear, maybe the way I draw, maybe I here draw a bit, there draw a bit, maybe a bit confusing. You can tell me one, I can. You say one, I trust you all. So my dear, this one I differentiate, 2 times this, 3/8, power minus 1, 1. 1 times -3/4, -3/4. Power minus 1, no more x. And remember, you must determine whether they are minimum or maximum. So you guys already know the x is 4, right? Sub 4 inside. So 3/8 times 4 minus 3/2. 3/8 times 4 minus 3/2. Why am I getting 0? Oh my God, is this the one? Guys, any mistake I made? No, no mistake. Teacher, you pressed wrongly. Is it? Do I? Yeah, I pressed wrongly. Oh my God, shy way. My dear, I get 3/4. Oh my God, it's 3/4, my dear. So 3/4 is what? A positive. Positive means what? Happy face. Happy face means what? Yep, you confirm they are a minimum point. Okay, guys. So far, understand not everything I say? Yes, Okay, so today's class, you guys understand every bit I try to tell you? Yes? Okay. So if you not my student, you want to know about rate of change, small change, what else? What else I cover? A limit, product rule, quotient rule in my YouTube channel, you can find it out, okay? So just like that for today. Thank you, everyone. See you next time. Annyeong. Bye bye. Tata. Thank you. Bye bye, Hazira. Bye bye, Sandy. Bye bye, Kel.